So we thought we was the perfect match because she was born October 1st. I was born November 1st of the same year.
Okay.
That didn't work out too well. We got married, and from the beginning of the marriage, what I didn't know is her mom was already putting in her head that this marriage was not going to work out. So she had already started hiding money. I noticed that in my house, we had nothing to eat but tuna fish and rice. Even though if you combine both of the salaries we were making, even that young, I was young at this point, I was like 19, we still had enough money, to live. And so one night, things went off the rails. I was a musician. I was actually in Canada doing a tour with my band and found out that she was having an affair with my best friend who I put in my house to stay there because he had no place to go. When I confronted that, that's when the abuse began. I got hit in the back of the head with a frying pan. I was tackled by her. I was locked outside. Now, this time I lived in Minnesota in the middle of winter with a -6 below temperature outside, 23 below wind chill, and I'm outside with no shoes, no socks, no anything. And back in those days, and I think even still now, it's funny to the police when a man calls and says, "Hey, I'm the one being abused." And they say, "Well, look at you and look at her. That can't be true." And I'm like,
and plus look at your size, because you already told me, aren't you 6'4"?
6'4". And back then, I'm a little chubby now, but back then I was a brick house, right? I mean, I muscle everywhere. I was an athlete in high school. And so, back then they would say, well, if you're going to press charges, we're going to take everybody. And she didn't want to go in. And the one reason why it is easy for a woman to abuse a man, even if the man is 2 times her size, is if that man refuses to hit her back. And that's where she knew I would not do because of what my mom had suffered domestic abuse wise. I was always raised with my mom, never hit a woman. Now if your life is in danger or something like that, that's a different circumstance, but you just don't ever hit a woman. So she knew I wouldn't hit her back.